Hello? Oh, okay. Y'all back. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's get into it. This is the truth between the beef between Jay-Z and Dehaven. Look, Jay-Z and Dehaven, they were best friends. They lived in the same building. They came up together. And once they started, Jay was always trying to rap and do all that stuff. It was clear from the beginning that Dehaven was going to be one thing: a hustler. Street enforcer slash hustler slash, drug dealer. Now, of course, everybody started off selling weed. So him and Jay was selling weed, and Jay stayed at his crib like all the time because Jay lived two different lives. He would go around his mom's, he's the polite boy that don't do no wrong. And when he get out there, he's Jiggy Jay-Z, He out there hustling, and doing what he do. Selling weed and hanging with the wrong people. And anyway, it's a bunch of street stuff we can't mention in this song. So, anyway, at this point, they got they crew together. It's Emery, Headache, and Dehaven. Dehaven taught Jay everything about hustling and what to do, how to break stuff down, do all this. And the other guy from Maryland, the guy that was also from up there that got them to go to Virginia and Maryland, was Calvin Klein. Which is, it's his street name, but he's Calvin McCarthy. And he got the name from Calvin Klein, The Life. You remember the book they made about Calvin Klein? The Lives and Times of Calvin Klein. It's a popular book. And when it came out, a lot of people was, Calvin basically, was the man at that time. And he had Dehaven, Jay, and all of them. And Jay was the closest to Calvin. But him, Dehaven, Emery, they all worked for him. And Dehaven brought all those guys from Brooklyn out to Maryland to go kick it out there with him. He rolling around in nice cars, got all this money coming in, and they out there moving weight now. Like Valencia and all those other chicks. Like, and he met Vovo and all those guys. I mean, look, they had him in a whole new world. But Jay was a fast learner, very intelligent. And the way he was making moves, it was very advantageous of him to put stuff, like Jay had stuff stashed away for a rainy day. Where Dehaven Knockout, they used to call him, didn't. And things got heavy out there. They was out in Virginia, and some things went down out there, and one of the guys got killed. And he ain't make it back. So what they didn't know is that they had gotten attention based on the fact that Calvin got the attention, rather. And they started monitoring all the people that was with him. He had federal attention. And one of the guys was an undercover that was in the crew that they had. And this is how they got all the information. While everybody thought somebody was snitching, actually one of the guys was the informant. It was like he had infiltrated the crew and was able to identify everybody and knew their positions and everything. So that's how they got on all these guys. Like Dehaven, they had Jay, they had all these people there. So Calvin was spending all his money fighting a murder case. He got arrested for a murder, and he spent a lot of his money and time doing that, and he had just beat that case. He came home, and it's like 89. And then he gets pulled over. You know, they get caught up in an attempt murder situation in Maryland over another situation, and Jay-Z was going to take the charge. And he said, nah, that's okay. I'm going to do it another way and I'm going to see if I can get this knocked down, so that way you don't got to do all that time. Because you would have been gone for a minute. And Calvin knew that Jay-Z could rap. He was going to put him, Jazzo, and Biz Markie on his record label. He was going to try to do that, but the feds was watching him and monitoring his money, so he couldn't make that kind of move. And when he got the murder case, they had sentenced him to like 15 some odd years or 20 years. He only did like 13. But at this time, you know, Jay is out because his man said, nah, you stay out here because you'll be going a long time and you could rap. You know, like go on and do that and hustle and, you know, switch it up and get that record deal, and I must do my time, and when I get out, you know, y'all just hold the spot down. So that was their job, was to continue hustling, hold the spot, and keep it moving. The problem was people weren't eager to play their positions. You got people who are not meant to be the man. Just like anything at a job, you got people that's good at doing a certain part of the job, but when they have to step up to be the boss or step up to do, they want to be it, but they not ready for the responsibilities that come with it. And Headache wasn't ready for that. Headache wasn't built for that. He was too sloppy, he ran his mouth too much, and when you get in that situation where you running your mouth, talking and bragging to people you don't even know, barely, women, broads, telling them what you're doing, a lot of problems can exist from that. And they got in trouble. Feds was on them, and they was coming to bring Dehaven in. So everybody getting away, and you know, they got knocked plenty of times, but this is the first time he got knocked. First time he got knocked, and what happened after that? When he got knocked that first time, and all the stuff was different. He got knocked that first time, and he called. He was all like, "Oh, they didn't get you?" He was like, "Nah. Like, why would they get me, man? You know." He was like, "Man, they got me and this and that." He was, "That's all right. Just hold your head. You know, you good. You know, you'll be all right." And you know, 1 week, he ain't even been in there a week. You know, and he already talking different. You know, that just put people at unease, and that's where him and Jay had problems at. And Jay was like, "Wait a minute, this dude is, like something ain't right." When he called him over the phone, it was the most different conversation Jay-Z has ever had with him. Like the words he was using was making Jay feel real uncomfortable talking to him over a telephone. So once Jay got off the line with him, like, hey, something's up with homie. And when he came home and he seen him, it was like, okay, yeah, it's love, whatever. But it was like, it wasn't the same no more. And people was getting arrested left and right. So people didn't know who to believe, what was going on, who snitched, and all this stuff. It was just strange. So people was moving different and oddly dealing with people and keeping people at arm's distance. So Headache stuck around until he caught the case again with the feds, and that was the last time he was seen. And this was back in '98, and he told him, look, we got you, don't worry about it, you cool. And that was the last conversation they had. But he was more of an enforcer and brought his crew around at that time. And once they got caught serving, he called up Jay, and Jay was... See, the thing was, Jay was trying to separate himself from all that. He had just blew up and became the Jay-Z. He had just blown up. This is Hard Knock Lifetime. So Jay was on his meteoric rise. But he wasn't all the way caked out like how they was thinking Jay was. Like, Jay didn't really have it just like that. So all this time Calvin is locked up. He been locked up since what, 89, 90? So he's still in the joint, doing his time. And I think Emery got locked up at this time, or around this time, with this Fed case popping up. And then, what else happened? Cause this is like right before Volume 2. This was like Volume 1 was out, and I think Volume 2 was getting ready to come out or something. So it was right around that time, but I know it's like 90s. And then he goes down, and once he goes down, everything switches again, because now he's out of the picture. Dehaven's locked up, and he's feeling, man, these dudes ain't looking out for me. Nobody putting none on my boots. Where's Jay, man? Jay said he's gonna give me a lawyer and this and that, and he's running his mouth. And from the first thing, his lawyer that they paid to look at the case, from the first time when he got knocked out, he was telling things that would implement Jay. And Jay was like, this dude is talking too much. So new word is getting back, he just talking too much. He's spraying so much hate about Jay to the feds. And telling about everything that was from way back when. Like, yeah, and then I'm the one doing this, and I ain't finna be doing all this. So the rumors was he was in there talking to people, because people on the streets and people coming home talking about some, yeah, man, he real salty at Jay, man. Jay ain't got his back. It was like, man, he did this time for Jay, and he took this, and he built this, and he built Rockefeller Records, and man, he talking reckless. So when he was in there talking like that, people left him alone. Like, the word get back to the streets. And he was talking reckless up in there. So when he came home, he was like, yo, I want to holler at Jay. I'm home. And then he hear about how Jay, like, reached out to Calvin Klein. He reached out to Calvin when Calvin came home. And then the rumor was like Jay gave him like $1 million, $2 million. And that didn't go well with Headache. Like, oh, I come home, I get nothing. I don't get a phone call, I don't get nothing. This dude come home, he get millions of dollars. You gave him millions of dollars, he didn't give me nothing. The classic story of there's a long list of people who Jay's supposed to take care of, I guess. And it's always these people that you gotta look out for when they get out. When Big took care of his man. When his mans got out, Big had a position for him right away. When D-Rock got home, Biggie had a position for him. When he took the gun charge, did that time, he came out, Big made it worth his while. When these dudes got out, Jay wanted nothing to do with them. And the Calvin situation was different. Jay actually reached out to him, got him a deal to where he would have a credit of over $10 million. He had a credit extension that was over $10 million so he can be able to buy something. And that way Jay wasn't giving him the money. You know, and whatever he was gonna buy, it went up. The guy went up in price to like $13 million instead of the 10, and he didn't think it was worth it for $13 million. And said, okay, now you raising it the price. Now it's done. He's like, that's not a good business decision. So he told Jay. Jay was excited. Jay was like, oh, did you get it? Did you get it? He was like, the guy went up in the price, man, so I didn't do it. And then Jay was like, man, I want to make sure you straight, man. And said, next time you call me, make sure it makes sense, man. And that's when Calvin felt a certain way, because Calvin just did time in a joint for, I mean, like years. And when he left, he was the man. So when he comes home, just from jail mentality, he ain't gonna tolerate anybody, no matter what money they got, talking to him in a certain kind of way. Where just because you got money now, you know, you think you can talk to me, down to me. I'm still Calvin, you know what I'm saying? Like, you making a mistake doing that. So ever since then, him and Jay didn't kind of see eye to eye since then. They really didn't have no more contact, because Calvin ain't that kind of guy. His mentality is a boss too. He didn't have a mentality of a Tata who was just to tag along for the ride. You know, T-Lo was a beast out in them streets. His big brother, you know, he was a monster out there. I was Brooklyn Monster. So, you know, I'm just saying, he was not like what Tata is, or what Tata doing. You know, people talk about how crazy Tata is, but it's more like temper tantrums. You know, like he's Jay-Z's whatever. You know, he's Mr. Bentley right now. He ain't the same Ty he used to be, or what he could have been. But people saw how he acted and how he moved, but he ain't gonna do nothing to bite the hand that's feeding him. If Jay said we ain't dealing with headache no more, no matter what kind of history you got with him, you know, he can't just tell Jay, nah, man, you know, I gotta look out for dude because he looked out for me, you know, and held me down. You know, he ain't gonna say that. He ain't gonna speak up to the money. He ain't that kind of dude. He ain't built that way. That's why he's still there. If he was built that kind of way, he wouldn't still be with Jay. You gotta have yes men around him. You can't have these dudes that's gonna tell him something that's like, dude, you gotta do what's right. So that's why they beefing. I mean, that's why he beefing. And when Headache came home and made that uncut video and started talking about his mama and his sister, your mama, all them how messed up your family is, you know, and just really crossing the line. That's why he was like, man, I'm going to go and apologize to that. But the damage was done. And that's when Jay was just burning him on no hook. You know, I mean, Jay hit him so many times on the American Gangster soundtrack. It's like 5 songs he talking about him on. I mean, he's even talking about it on the song with him and Nas. Oven and over the oven, we were like brothers then. Even though you was just the son of my mother's friend, we had governed, and who would think the love would end? So, but no hook, man. I have told y'all I play no hook right now. I was trying to play it on YouTube and couldn't find it. Cause I love the way he flowed on there. It was like, it came off like a freestyle, but he was hitting it. skinny nigga toothpick. But I do lose weight like I'm using Rolls Royce. I'm like, oh man, Jay was in it. And I don't even know what it is. It's no facade. Mama said, it's mama's side. Ooh. Hustle cane, hustle clothes, hustle music. But make it in any hustle that you pick. Skinny nigga do pick. Man. But when he hit that line, like, I'm more Frank Lucas than Ludacris. And Luda's my dude. I ain't trying to diss. Like, Frank Lucas is cool, but I ain't trying to snitch. I'ma do the time. I'ma live and die with the decisions that I'ma pick. So, Dehaven for Calvin. That's why we don't speak. Maven ain't supposed to make statements. End of the story. I followed the code, cracked the safe. Other dudes ain't in the game, so they practice hate. Leave that boy Hov alone, why don't you? Then you don't have to if you don't want to, but don't say I didn't warn you. Oh, it was over since then because I ain't seen Dehaven since. And I don't even know what it yet. Oh man, it was over then. It was over right then and there. There was really nothing to say. So you basically have the whole fallout for you. Go back and listen to these songs. Go back to listen to Jay-Z. Like, it was all good just a week ago. You can go back and listen to when Jay was talking about what's the name of that song Jay was talking about with R. Kelly? The one he was talking about the you never know who your enemies are until you got money and y'all both got money. Because even if they broke and you got money, they could be faking like they friends. You know, and that's the truth. You never know who really your friends are at that time. You know, because people get jealous because you got something and they don't got it, knowing that they didn't even help you to get it. Then you got a situation where y'all both have money. And then you see people who they really are because they don't really need you for nothing now because they got money too. So then they act another way and they start showing who they really are. And then you get to find out if they really your friend or not. And that's why he was alluding to with the Headache and then Dame Dash. So, gosh, I can't think of the name of that song, but it's got R. Kelly on it. Y'all will find it. And, you know, on that note, I think I've said enough. Y'all got caught up with everything, but I'm out.